Ghost, Impera, the concept behind the album, and what we know about the album so far. Winston Churchill, the English wartime Prime Minister, once said, "Those who fail to learn from history are doomed to repeat it." Impera is loosely based on the book The Rule of Empires, those who built them, those who endured them, and why they always fail. The cyclical nature of history, why as human beings we still repeat the mistakes of the past. Tobias Forge, Ghost frontman, seems to be becoming a bit of a prophet, a bit of a modern day prophet, for the band's previous album, Prequel, was a loose concept about the Great Plague, which came out just before COVID, while Impera hits the shelves as yet another nutter threatens another world war, the rise and fall of another empire, or at least an attempt at it. Tobias Forge. On Impera, we're in kind of a Victorian industrialism. It's the late 1800s and there's no city that fully embodies that more than London, so it's set there. Not only is it a visually pleasing and interesting era, but it's similar today in the sense that the world was going through a big industrial revolution. People were made redundant, but back then there were loads of other jobs. Nowadays, for every invention that someone comes up with, for every app, there's so many people who are made completely superfluous. That is not good for humanity. I think people need to understand that my albums are never conceptual in the way that King Diamond's are. It's never a story that starts in the beginning and finishes at the end of the story. It's not a rock opera. It's more like Iron Maiden's concept albums. It's like a record that loosely dabbles with the concept of pharaohs or time. On Power Slave, there are other songs that aren't technically about pharaohs. Or like on Somewhere in Time, the songs have a chronological element in them. Impera is similar, where the songs are shining a light on various things within an empire. I guess you could say they show the cracks inside of it. So some deep and profound stuff in there, but don't be put off, as all of us Ghost fans know, and we have seen with the 3 songs dropped from the album so far, Hunter's Moon, Call Me Little Sunshine and 20s, it's all encased in glorious shock and roll. And one of the things I love about this band is their music works on so many levels. On the surface you have all the myriad influences, pop, pop rock, progressive metal, new metal, old metal, 60s psychedelia, and even on 20s some reggaeton. I could go on, but they managed to blend it all together without sounding clunky, out of place, or just blatant genre hopping. As they say themselves, we tried to deliberately give every song its own signature. But like that other great band of musical magpies, Queen, they remain at their very core a kick down the doors rock and roll band. Go on another level and you will come across the tongue-in-cheek humour and the mock Satanism. Frontman Tobias Forge says it's all entertainment, but of course people fail to see the joke. And we get the same old, records being banned, religious groups outraged. Haven't we had all that before? Doesn't anyone remember Alice Cooper, who back in the day was supposed to be the devil incarnate and now is regarded as a bit of an icon? From all accounts, the album will live up to the massive expectations of Ghost's legions of fans. Louder Sound calls it the 80s arena rock banger to end all 80s arena rock bangers. They go on to say that every chorus is bigger, every backing vocal is stacked to the heavens. Classic Rock magazine talks about the nostalgic pop metal guitars and glistening production, while the UK's Independent says, "It's true that the world of Ghost is a fun one. There's a playfulness in their on-stage theatrics, catchy choruses and shock and roll celebration. As pop's major players endlessly share personal content on social media, mystery and myth seem hard to come by. But Ghost have resurrected rock's arcane and exciting distant past. The epitome of a creative vision well executed. a cult following captivated, and the longevity and success that comes with both.